When you arrive in the first year, the focus is very much on the practical applications of computing, because we want everybody to be able to program, everyone to understand the foundations of computer science. As you move through your degree, we will introduce more research-led teaching, more theoretical concepts that build upon those foundations. In the first semester of the first year, you can opt to take an introduction to programming course if you're not familiar with the concepts, or if you do already know how to program, you can opt to take a module on functional programming, which is a method of programming that you might not have experienced before. And that allows you to stretch your mind, stretch your abilities as you progress through the first year. We expect a certain level of numeracy in our students, but we don't specify a particular type of maths or prior knowledge of maths. In our first year, we build the foundations of all the mathematical principles that you might need to know. And if you're not strong at maths, it doesn't really matter, because as you build a pathway through our option modules, you can choose a path that minimises the amount of maths that you're exposed to. If you really enjoy the mathematical concepts, you can take a different path through our more theoretical modules. Software development is a subset of computer science, really. So if you're on the software development program, you are required to do a certain number of modules that push you into how to extract requirements, how to specify a system, how to present your design documentation to perhaps non-experts in the field. Combine all that into a system, evaluate the system, test it, deliver it.
What a lot of people don't think about when they think about the module app development is that, of course, because it's mobile-based, the way that apps are developed is quite different from the way that you develop an application for a desktop system. Of course, with desktop, you've got the large screen, you've got a big keyboard, you've got an accurate pointing device. And on a mobile device, you don't have those. Things are very different. But you do have access to sensors and other aspects of the mobile platform that just don't exist on desktop. And they mean that the applications you develop are quite different. They work differently, they offer different options, and they're very much a sort of personal experience. That your mobile device is something you keep on you all the time. So the apps work that way. That's how you have to think about them.
It's very flexible to transfer between programs within the same department. I think it's much more important for you to come to Liverpool with an open mind and an enthusiasm for the subject. It doesn't matter if you've chosen the wrong program for you, because it's very easy to transfer between them.
The approach to teaching in the computer science department in Liverpool is a traditional approach where you have face-to-face lecture and labs and tutorials and so on. However, we also have a vast experience in the pedagogy of online learning. We do have this experience because we have a 20-year MSc degree, which has been accredited by the British Computer Society and which is fully online. So the pedagogy of online learning is feeding into our day-to-day practice also for students that are coming on campus. We have various approaches such as flipped classrooms and blended learning and hybrid learning, and we are very prepared in guiding students throughout the online learning facilities.
Every member of staff has office hours. You can email them and ask if you can drop in. Many staff have an open door policy, so you can just turn up, and if they're there, they're usually willing to drop what they're doing and speak to you. So you can get that intimate one-to-one support whenever you need it.
So alongside the laboratory direct work and the direct lecturing, lectures are captured and available for students to review subsequently. The plan is also to stream lectures, some of them live, some of them pre-recorded, allowing students to potentially interact with the live ones or simply to be able to take the lecture at a time that's convenient to them.
Almost all the facilities you need to complete your degree are available on campus. We have labs full of equipment, PCs and Macs, many resources in our libraries and other buildings on the campus.
So the department has several PC labs, containing a number of PCs running Windows, a Mac lab, and access to a Linux farm of systems via the networks. We have a number of iPads that are available for students who've got projects, and we also use small robots in the teaching, and they are also available potentially for projects and other purposes.
Obviously, with the pandemic that's ongoing at the moment, the university has adopted a hybrid approach to learning, and that means that many resources are available online. Some delivery still happens face-to-face in small group settings, and staff in general are much more approachable online through Microsoft Teams or Zoom or email, and the support is still there for you if you're not physically present in a lecture room.
One of the strengths in the computer science department is the active task group. This is a teaching and scholarship in computing group. It's a research group that looks after especially the pedagogy of computer science for postgraduate and undergraduate studies. The researchers are very active in understanding the pedagogy of different tools for learning, online tools, blended learning, a flipped approach, and there are also some specific research, for instance, on the way in which feedback can be given to students in a more effective way, or in the way in which we can identify students which are potentially at risk of dropping out of the module, for instance. Okay, they may struggle with a particular task or a particular topic in the module, and try and help them.
A lot of our third year projects are driven by the research of the department. We're a research-led university. Our teaching is heavily focused on research. Each academic supervisor proposes projects that are often related to the research, but we're trying to drive in future years for students to suggest their own projects as well, because we think that students are motivated when they're doing something that they really want to work on.
Final year projects are a very important part of your degree. Once you start a final year project, you need to identify a topic that you are interested in, and with the help of a supervisor, explore this topic and produce either an artifact or a piece of research that is connected to this topic. So in a way, this is the place where research-oriented teaching happens, because it's not so much research, not so much teaching that happens at the cutting edge of technology, but also a research-oriented teaching where you take the lead of your own research and you bring your project to completion.
The third year project is a mandatory module. It's the only mandatory module on the degree programme. It's the culmination of your studies. It's where you express everything that you've learned in the programme, and it's an essential part of the accreditation for our BCS, the Chartered Institute of IT.
Yeah, so a research project, for example, a final year undergraduate project, as done at Liverpool, is great preparation for the kind of independent work one needs to do, be it in industry or in academia. The project sees you lay out a specification, a design for what you'd like to achieve and how you're going to achieve it, and then actually follow through and deliver on that specification and design, and at the end of it, write the whole thing up. And if you can really do this well, you are stood in excellent stead for delivering commercial projects, academic projects later on. It really is excellent experience for the workplace.
One of my favourite projects from this year was Twitch Plays EV3, and that project involved a student linking one of our Lego EV3 robots to the Twitch streaming platform, so streamers could watch the robot moving around the room, type commands, and it was crowdsourcing the commands basically, so the majority view, that's the direction that the robot went in.
The Year in Industry is an exciting opportunity that we've been running in our department for over 10 years, and it's the chance for students to spend the year after their second year and before their final year in a company working and taking a role either as software developer or tester or requirement analysis. Well, from the academic perspective, we noticed that students that come back from the Year in Industry are more rounded individuals. Their time management becomes excellent. They are able to manage their own projects, and they shine as developers.
Well, research has demonstrated that students, especially from STEM subject and computer science is a STEM subject, benefit immensely from a period spent abroad, either in studying abroad or doing research abroad or just spending some time abroad in another country. The research shows that this increased their employability immensely, and this also benefits their own grades when they come back to Liverpool. When you study abroad for your semester abroad, so in one of our partner universities, all the modules that you study abroad are credit bearing. So that means that are modules that are carefully selected so that they cover the same subject, the same topics that you would do in Liverpool, and they serve you when you come back for the modules that you will do in the second semester or the year later. So all these modules are carefully selected, they are approved by an academic advisor, and you will be guided throughout the selection of these modules.